the South African National Civic Organization has joined the call for government to clamp down on hijacked buildings in the country. This comes as the City of Johannesburg revealed that high-profile individuals may be linked to this problem. A week ago, 77 people died in Marshalltown after a hijacked building there caught fire. For more on their reaction, let's bring in SANCO's Gauteng Provincial Secretary, Mpho Sesedinyane, who joins us via our video link this morning. Great to have you on the program, Mpho. Thanks very much indeed for your time. You know, since this tragedy now more than a week ago took place, so much has been said. There's been allegations, counter-allegations, and all kind of conjecture in the public domain. Police telling us that they're investigating a number of people of interest when they try to pin down who may be behind these hijacked buildings, including businessmen, police from the SAPS, a colonel also supposedly involved. Who do you reckon, from your own probing of this matter, is behind the proliferation of hijacking of buildings in the country?
Thank you very much, Ayanda, and good morning also to your viewers out there. Look, firstly, as a South African National Civic Organization, we want to welcome the probe of these hijacked buildings, and we hope that this probe will only not investigate only this building that has actually cost lives of over 76 people, but also it has to go beyond this building that has cost life. Because it was a clarion call made by a civic organization in Gauteng, in Johannesburg in particular, to say we need all these buildings to be investigated, and upon the investigation, we need all those that are in charge of this building that have been making cash or money out of this building should be arrested. Not just arrested, but make sure that you sentence them to the longest term in prison for the crime that they've committed. And we also made this clarion call on this building in particular because it has costed the City of Johannesburg, Gauteng in particular, lives that were actually lost, including those that are still fighting for their lives in hospital. And it can't be that we will always keep quiet when such a situation continues to happen. But also, what is also disturbing remains the policies that are also there to guard our country. That has got too much protection for them, especially those that are legal in terms of taking over running of this illegal shenanigans. But in our view, is that this building hijacking is a very serious and extremely big syndicate. And we can tell you, in the very same syndicate, it's not surprising that you still find that there are some also that may be involved in some of these shenanigans. And we are saying that if indeed police may be involved, if indeed business people would be involved, South Africans, including foreigners, it is extremely possible that equally politicians may be in that particular space. And it was not surprising when we hear that there's another councillor that is also being arrested here in the city of Johannesburg, investigated for the very same hijack of buildings.
Sure.
And our view as civic organization is that we don't care as to who are you and which position you hold in the society, and we should be able to take you and extremely deal with such type of people, because it can't be correct that we keep quiet and allow just because people have got some particular titles and all of that. So it is that particular position that we're making, that all those that would be involved should be actually arrested and be charged and criminally so for the loss of.
Right. You know, I suppose what's particularly puzzling about the story, Mpho, is the hijacking of a building takes place in full view of everyone. You know, it's not the kind of concealed crime that's difficult to track as it happens. I mean, you can see when a building is empty, and you can see when it's fully inhabited by families, you know, who are living full lives in some of those rooms. Who do you reckon actually dropped the ball here? Because it's not one or two buildings we're talking about only in the city of Johannesburg. It's upwards of 500, we're told, in some instances.
Look, you're correct. It happens in the full view during broad daylight that people have lost conscience to commit crime. They committed that crime with a clear conscience, without really, disregarding our laws in this particular country. And they do that because they believe that nothing will happen to them. Nothing will actually make them be held accountable for such type of situation. It's not only just a building. It can also go to an extent of even grabbing the very same land. But what is the cause of that? The cause of that remains that you've got leadership that is so scared, a leadership that is afraid to be in charge, the leadership that is afraid to ensure that they lead and they govern this city. All those that were given a responsibility to run and govern our city, if not our province, they are so lenient that we don't know what is it that they would want to be remembered of. Because once you are given a responsibility to lead and provide leadership, you must not be scared and to attend to criminality, regardless of who is that criminal. You must be able to deal with that particular criminal, regardless of that criminal, where does he affiliate in terms of a political affiliation. But it is that attitude that we have today, that we've got leaders that are not prepared to take responsibility and crime head on, because they're scared. If not scared, they are captured in a number of ways. So as soon as we actually have a leadership that is prepared to take head on any form of criminality and ensure that they protect the lives, they protect our citizens, and they govern our city properly, we will not have this challenge.
Sure.
But and that is exactly what we see as a civic organization. That's why we're lucky.
Yeah, if I can come in then, what also complicates the matter now is what to do with the people who've occupied those buildings, many of them from outside South Africa. The people who put together our laws, the founding fathers, as they say, of our constitution, thought it prudent and just to ensure that you can't just evict anyone and throw them out into the streets. But at the same time, it's difficult to imagine that anybody should be allowed to continue occupying those buildings. It's been a matter of great contention in the public sphere. I wonder what you reckon the answer is there.
The reality is that people take advantage of that law. A law that is so accommodating, the law that seeks to protect and defend criminals. And at some point, that's why I said that we may need a courageous leadership. Currently, we've got a number of people that have actually occupied these particular buildings. And when you ought to deal with such people, you've got the PI Act that is confronting you, that seeks to protect and defend the very same person that would have committed a crime. But the civic organization's posture here is that all those that would have been in an illegal building, buildings that have no safety for our people, buildings that do not have services that they should be provided to, because they have hijacked that building. Buildings where you even have, at such an extent, shacks on top. It is our view that as SANCO, you must actually enter and remove everybody.
All right.
Remove anyone that is there illegally. Remove all illegal shacks that are there, built there, for purposes of living and all of that. And make a proper audit as to who would qualify to be placed in a particular a flat place people to, now they will be able to be host there for purposes of ensuring that you are dealing with this challenge of accommodation and all of that.
Coach Mpho, thank you very much. Apologies, I'm going to have to come in there. Time not on our side, but I think your point is certainly well made. Thank you so much for speaking to us. SANCO's Gauteng Provincial Secretary is Mpho Sesedinyane, speaking to us there, giving us his reaction around the big story still coming out of Marshalltown.